You may have invaded my mind and my body, but there's one thing a Saiyan always keeps. His pride!
Yes, nerds, that's right. We are talking about Vegeta on this week's episode of the Irreverent Nerds podcast. Stay tuned for more. I'm Richard.
And I'm Will.
And together we're
The Irreverent Nerds. Bum, bum, bum.
All right, nerds.
Nerds.
We are here in the home of Mr. Zac Williams.
That's me.
Zachary Williams. What is your... You probably don't want to tell this to the world. What is your middle name?
I don't give a fuck. Nobody wants my identity anyway.
That's a long middle name.
My middle name is
It's also
Edward.
his favorite song.
I agree. My middle name is Edward.
That's right. Zed. That's why I call you
Zoo.
Zed sometimes.
Zoo.
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 Yeah, he's a zoo, which is, yeah. It's like a... No, never mind. I'll leave that one alone.
So I'm a caged animal.
It's a caged animal. So, we are here to talk about Dragon Ball Z. Mr. Williams has graciously agreed to have us back. And this time around, we are all sitting around the same table. I forget why we had to do Zoom last time.
Because Will's fucking ass was sick. Damn. He tried to kill the world with his COVID.
Is that when I had COVID?
I think so. You had some kind of, it probably was COVID, but you had some kind of illness. So yeah, that's right. Because we were going to do this the last time. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, I forgot about that.
Or at least my wife did. I don't know.
Somebody in
We
your
were
house was
quarantined.
sick, and we didn't want it. So
I just remember your microphone was
I
sick
didn't
towards
want
the end of the episode.
oh yeah.
I can't forget the time you told Richard, yeah, turn that guy off. I see how it is, Zach.
You're like an early 2000s cell phone going through the mountains.
Why did I put that in my mouth?
Yeah.
This thing is so chewy.
Yeah. For some reason, Will's computer hates Zoom and hates the internet because it just continually gives us problems. But we're back here doing this again. Number one, because we're all friends and we just like hanging out with one another, and it's fun. And also, like for my part, I love learning about something you guys both care about, Dragon Ball Z. And tertiary reason, to date, the most popular episode the Irreverenters recorded is the one where the three of us got together to talk about Dragon Ball Z. So
yeah.
We're here again. So, but that's secondary to the fact that I just love both you guys and love hanging out with you.
It's because the internet loves Zach.
That's true.
Yep.
He is very lovable.
Not historically, only for the past 2 years, maybe.
By the way, Zach, right here at the beginning, because not everybody listens all the way through, sadly. But I want to give you a chance to plug your business here in town. So for anybody that's listening in the Piedmont Triad region, what do you do, man?
Well, my name is Zach, and I'm an alcoholic.
No, he's not.
No, I'm Zach. I'm the owner-operator of the Struggle Bus. It's a mobile coffee and espresso bar and bakery. And we travel around Winston-Salem and surrounding cities and areas with just making good drinks. Really cool. We just finished our first year of business. We won Best Drink of the Carolina Classic Fair, which is the second largest fair in North Carolina. Interestingly enough, there were several admissions, alcoholic smoothies, all kinds of cool shit. But the Struggle Bus's apple pie macchiato took home the prize. It was really cool. I got interviewed in radio stations. I was in the newspaper. I was shouted out on several social medias. It was a lot of fun. I really love what I do. I get to meet a lot of cool people every single day. Yeah, it's a dream come true. You know, I get to do what I love and love what I do. January's rough, so if you're in the Winston-Salem area, come see the Struggle Bus.
Yeah, which Will did this morning, right? Mm-hmm.
I was
Checked
closed.
out the
Yep.
oh.
The Cardinals, he was locking up.
Did you go to Be Kind?
We did.
Did you tell them that I sent you?
We did.
Awesome, man. Those are awesome people. What'd you get?
We got the Christmas tree frappe.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. It was good.
Good. What did it taste like?
Christmas tree.
That does not sound great. I'll be
Christmas
honest.
tree cake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, good. Well, cool.
So yeah, and you're on Instagram as well. Did you already plug that?
I did not.
You did not.
You can find us on Instagram at the Struggle Bus WS for Winston-Salem. We post at least once a day a story or a post. We have random contests. Actually, the big thing going on right now is this Saturday, January 14th, we're hosting a 5K for my birthday. It's a walk. There's also a 1 mile walk for the losers that want to walk, like my mom. But yeah, if you want to show up around 10:30, we'll be at Bailey Park. I don't know when this will air. Probably air after my birthday, but in that case, we had a lot of fun without your ass, listener, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I guess I'm going to be a loser that day.
to the one.
Are you gonna come?
I don't know, but I'm just joking because
He's gonna,
I'm not going to do a 5K.
He'll probably will.
If you come
This
in,
fat boy needs to start out a little bit.
I think we're all fat boys here.
yeah. I'm a
Well, you know what I
280-pound man. Will, if I can run a 5K, anybody can.
Maybe you've been
Zach's
actually
knees can
training
run a
though.
5K. Anyone's knees can.
Do I?
That's if Zach's knees and back can run a 5K,
Yes.
then anyone's knees
There
and
you go.
back
The
can
trick.
run a 5K.
You know what tell you the trick to run a 5K and being fat?
Well, I assume it's build up your leg strength.
No. The trick to running a 5K when you're a fat guy is to hate yourself.
Well, you'd have to.
Just like
You do.
just like I'm punishing myself.
Or you just not really hate yourself. I'll be honest. I hate running. I do. I hate
Why
it.
are you
It's-
doing this?
because I force myself to do something hard so that when I do other things that are hard, it's not as hard. Yeah. So like if I do like for example, in 2021, I did a half marathon at 280 pounds in the rain in circles for 55 laps. It was not fun at all. But if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have had the courage or the confidence to start the struggle bus. Yeah, I got confidence in Jesus. I have confidence in my friends and my family. I have confidence in what things I've accomplished. But like, there's a difference whenever you really come face to face with like hard shit and decide to like push through, and that makes it easier for you to do other hard shit in the future. Yeah, and that's why I run. It's not because I'm like Mr. Fit. I mean, I'm trying to get it under 50 minutes. Well, if you go out there and walk a 5K, you'll probably do it in 50 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's 20-minute miles, you know, basically, you know. Walking speed is like 17-minute miles. You know.
Maybe it just sounds intimidating. I've been in some Ks, but I think mine were mostly 3Ks.
Yeah.
Like 5K translates to what?
3.1 miles.
3.1 miles. I knew it was 3 point something. So yeah, if you're in the Piedmont Triad region, so where's it starting out again? Like what?
Bailey Park.
Bailey Park at what time?
10:30 a.m. January 14th.
Will there be
10:30
coffee there?
a.m. January 14th.
There's a really cool coffee shop which I'll shout out as well. DeBean. They sell
yeah.
they sell coffee from the same supplier we do. Amazing
DeBean.
coffee shop. Yeah, DeBean. They have a vegan bakery as well, which typically I'm not high on vegan stuff, but you know there are people out there that are. So yeah. Struggle bus, a lot of fun. Running sucks, but it makes you a better person.
I actually like to run.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Really? I
come
did not know this about you.
I wanted to do track in school, but I went to a private school, so they didn't have track.
They probably didn't have much of anything. Maybe basketball.
No. No, they didn't.
No. They didn't have enough people for intramurals either, probably. Maybe some 3-on-3 basketball or something.
There's a lot of like cool things you can do in Winston now, just starting out. Like this one's a good one to start out with because there's no very low pace. There's no entrance fee. There's no registry. You just kind of try it out. You could run, walk a little bit. Like the way my wife does 5Ks is she does sprints from distance to distance,
Okay, cool.
and then walks to catch her breath, and then sprints. So like, there's all kinds. She'll probably do way better than me. She's just that's just her standard operating procedure is better than me. So, but yeah, there's a couple guys there that I think could get like a sub 20 minute, maybe even potentially sub like 18-minute 5K. So.
Oh, I just remembered. I have plans Saturday, so no, I won't be there. Is it early morning?
It's 10:30 in the morning.
Okay.
That's early for Will. Yeah. Sorry, no, it's not.
Well,
it depends on the day.
internet
Depends on the
one
day.
thing.
Don't be
Well,
like-
this will post after Saturday.
That's true. Yeah, this is
My
coming
in-laws-
down on the 18th. So
My in-laws want to take me out
why
to
do
a
you-
Restaurant
Why do your
for my
in-laws want to
birthday?
kill you, Will? Your in-laws
it's
don't
out
want.
of
I thought you were
town.
good to your wife.
in some other city. What did I say?
You said
My
your in-laws want to
in-laws.
take you out, and there was a,
Oh.
a pregnant pause after that.
Behind Bruce Willis, he's coming. So,
Yippee-yi-yo!
Well, they want to go to a restaurant out of town for some reason, so
what restaurant?
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh yeah, in
Ooh,
Greensboro. That's a good
yeah.
one, man. They got
No,
some good food.
They don't like Greensboro.
There's one in Winston now.
There is.
Yeah,
There is?
Where?
Where?
it's on Trade Street.
Well,
believe it's
that's
true.
Cheesecakes by Alex.
Oh.
Wait.
I don't like them.
Oh
very
yeah,
much.
you're right. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
they're not great.
Oh, I was happy for a second when you got me out of going to Charlotte.
Yeah, there is one in Greensboro. It's right in downtown Greensboro. It's not bad.
The Cheesecake Factory. I've
tell you what.
Never been there. I've had their cheesecake, but not at the restaurant.
I had a really pleasant experience at a restaurant, Fratelli's. I know it's
Heard
like
of
it's a Winston-Salem staple. It's on Renolda.
Oh yeah.
They got the big cow out front. Mm-hmm. It's an Italian steakhouse. We went there.
Oh, yeah. That place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went
Driven
there.
past it, I don't know how many times. Never been there.
It's very expensive. It's not
Okay.
actually. It wasn't as expensive as I thought it'd
It's
be.
like 50 a plate, or
About yeah.
Yeah,
So like, we went there for my wife's birthday. I did not looking from the outside and seeing how long it's been there. I thought it was gonna be like a. No offense to you guys, but like a Gen X hangout spot where like these dudes who like secretly beat their wives and like drive drunk on the weekends like go hang out.
That's not the impression I got at all from that restaurant.
So
at least as far as the generational thing, I think I was probably assuming something similar, although not necessarily about the beating their wives part, but the age group, yes.
I don't have a lot of love for the Gen X crowd. No offense, guys.
Yeah, I'm just barely a millennial, like technically, so I'm out of Gen X territory.
I claim to be part of the boomerang generation.
The boomerang, you come around.
Yeah, go right back home because there's no money. Anyway, this is fantastic. I'm having lots of fun. We should probably.
But
talk about
yeah,
Dragon
we're
Ball.
not here to talk about our lives because you guys will be bored AF. No, our lives aren't that bad. They're pretty cool actually. But we are here to talk about Dragon Ball Z, and so in preparation for this episode, we watched two of Zach's top 2 favorite episodes of Dragon Ball Z. So let's see, we had Vegeta's Pride, episode 229, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And then episode 86, The End of Vegeta. And we watched them, at least Zach and I did, in that order. Will, did you get a chance to catch up with either of those this afternoon? Or?
Yes, I got on Crunchyroll and I watched Vegeta's Pride. I didn't watch Vegeta's End, but I've been playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the video game, and so I finished the Namek saga, the Frieza saga in the video game. So
It's pretty close to canon.
Yeah.
There's a little added in the game, but like it's pretty close.
Oh, man. So I just had this flash of inspiration. My brain made a connection to Final Fantasy and the Sephiroth song, and then Kakarot.
I can't believe he just said Sephi.
what?
You're like, ha, ha, Kakarot. Is that blasphemous? So for those of you that
It's random.
hey, my brain is random. My brain produces random shit. But that's at least they're both Japanese though, so it was like in the same ballpark. Not the same section of the ballpark, but the same ballpark.
Okay.
Anyway, so I guess we'll go in the order. These are like jumping off points for our conversations. We're talking about the episodes, and Zach, we're going to talk to you about why they're your favorite episodes. So
Sure.
we'll start with the first one in reverse order in terms of when they came out chronologically. Vegeta's Pride. So tell us a little bit about why you love this episode.
Well, in my opinion, and this is going to be controversial, Will, I expect you to give me some pushback, but there's only 3 characters in the entire Dragon Ball franchise that have any character development at all. Vegeta, number 1, Gohan, number 2, and Krillin, number 3. Mm-hmm. Oh, you agree?
I was wondering if you were going to mention Krillin.
Oh, yeah, man. The dude goes from like really trying to, fuck it, I'm going to get married and have some kids.
Well, he had some more development in Dragon Ball Super, but
it was kind of leading into more of the fuck it, I'm going to have some more kids.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, so the reason why Vegeta's Pride is my favorite is because you had this guy who, from the beginning of the series, was a bad guy. He was coming to wish for immortality, to destroy the Earth. And the reason why he wanted immortality is because he was enslaved to Frieza. He didn't want immortality to be a bad guy forever. He just wanted to find enough power to defeat Frieza. He hated his origin story so much. He hated himself so much that he did not think that he could surpass Frieza. So he wanted to wish for immortality so he could go and defeat Frieza, therefore being free from the tyrant's reign. Flash forward, finally Goku kills Frieza, which forces Vegeta to then search for new identity and purpose in life. No longer is he this tyrant's lapdog. Now he's got to find a new place in life. So he gets married to an Earth woman. He gets he has a son named Trunks. And when we build up, Vegeta is a classic Enneagram 8. He needs somebody to fight. He needs a bad guy. So in his mind, he sees Goku, who's like the main protagonist of Dragon Ball Z. He sees him as like his adversary. So Goku, like, he killed Frieza. He freed Vegeta from that slavery. He didn't necessarily defeat Frieza, Goku didn't necessarily defeat Vegeta on Earth back in the early Saiyan saga, but Goku wrecked him pretty bad, surpassing Goku's limits and surprising Vegeta enough to injure him. And then Goku continues again and again. Goku's son kills Cell with Goku's help, while Vegeta and his son were wrecked by Cell. Over and over and over, Goku rises to the occasion and Vegeta falls, therefore building an animosity in his heart towards Goku. So because he's an 8 and he just needs somebody, he doesn't know how to necessarily express his emotions. I saw a really cool meme recently, on a side note, about Enneagram 8s. So Enneagram 8s would rather, instead of sharing with you how much they love you and how much they appreciate you, they'll break into your house, wash your dishes, and leave $100 bill in your counter.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel that. But so
you're saying that Vegeta's gonna break into Goku's house and do his dishes? Leave
He's like,
$100.
I will love you,
100
whether you want me to or not.
it'd be a whole episode of him yelling, "Not!"
Oh yeah, you guys told me about that. I was like, wow, they went for that.
Yeah. It's a lot cooler when you're a kid, man. Okay.
Oh, it makes sense. Hey, I went back and watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 80s series, as an adult, and I was like, the writing is terrible.
No, yeah.
But I loved it as a kid.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
But then they were writing for kids, so it's like, oh, the stupid kids, they wouldn't know any different. They'll just buy the toys.
Still, my favorite shirt you have is that shirt.
Oh yeah. I get a lot of comments on that actually.
What just happened to my camera?
Oh, you got a notification. I think it's still recording though. You see the blinking red light. So we're using, for those of you who are listening just on audio, we are using Will's phone to record video, which will be released later. This will be raw and uncut, so unless there's something really bad, I'm probably not going to edit it
Uncircumcised.
out. Uncircumcised video. Uncircumcised heathens.
The Philistines.
You watched South Park.
I never got into South Park, but back to
That was the title of one of the films.
Uncircumcised Philistines?
Uncut, uncircumcised, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see it. Anyway,
That wouldn't
what were we
surprise
talking about?
Vegeta's
Vegeta.
Pride. So then, so Goku dies, saving the world, and Goku's son Gohan defeats the bad guy, stripping Vegeta, this royal prince who was supposed to be the savior of his people, from the opportunity to save his people. Right? What's so funny, man?
It's all right. Just you paused after stripping Vegeta. I'm like, okay. Sorry. Junior high brain.
Speaking of uncircumcised. So, the...
You're gonna edit this, right?
Only if I have to.
So then, hold on, man, damn it.
Sorry. My junior high brain distracted Zach.
I hope everyone at home is having as much fun listening.
Actually, I
to
don't
this
know
as
if
we
junior
are.
high boys are making jokes about stripping, but they might be.
So,
I wouldn't know. I was very sheltered. Junior high boy.
We did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that was private school.
Anyway,
We're killing Zach over here.
we have totally thrown him off. I don't remember where you were either, so
yeah, I'm getting there. So anyway, so take Vegeta again. So his identity was built in being Frieza's lackey. Then Goku freed him from that. He resented Goku from that. Then he wanted to resume his rightful place as the Saiyan Prince. But he couldn't because there's no Saiyans left. And the ones that are stronger than him. So continually his identity that keeps building up, keeps falling. So then, after Goku's gone and dead, Vegeta trains because one day he's going to die and he's going to go to the afterlife and he's going to face Goku again. So after a time period, I don't remember what it was. Could have been 6, could have been 8 years. I can't remember. It gets announced that Goku gets come back for one day. And so they decide to hold you've been gone for 6 years. You come back. I mean, if it was me, I'd be like, no offense, guys, but like, I'm going to need some time with my wife behind some locked doors. So, but that's not what Goku wanted to do. He decided instead to hold a world martial arts tournament.
You know, that's a interesting marriage. I don't even know how he has 2 kids.
Well, yeah.
But we derailed you enough.
Yeah, so Vegeta now sees it as an opportunity to confront his rival and fight him and see who's stronger after all these years. And it's built up that Goku and Vegeta's gonna fight in the finals. But then, like, people get involved, some bad guys get involved. Ultimately, a wizard comes in, starts taking people's minds over and enslaving them for his purpose.
Darn those wizards.
Yeah, them fucking wizards. And it's kind of funny. This is Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. It's anyway.
But Bobbity's the wizard's name, right?
Yeah.
And he said, was his dad's name was Bibbidi?
Yeah, and they're trying to resurrect a guy named Boo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. I don't remember what that's from, but
I don't know.
Bibbidi Bobbidi.
Probably something in a demon.
Some kind
Random
of
magic
children's
words.
song, which, yeah, children's songs are weird sometimes. Like babies falling out of trees.
Ashes,
Political
ashes, will
satire.
fall down.
Ashes will fall down, shit like that. Yeah. Lullabies, am I right?
Yeah, so all that was built up to what happens in this episode. So they're fighting the evil wizard, and the wizard takes the darkness inside of people and manipulates it against them, take over their mind. Well, Vegeta has all this darkness from when he was a slave to Frieza, but he's trapped it in his mind. I'd say Vegeta's like 87% good at this point. But there's still at 13% that's like still in there.
That's very specific.
I just, I've given it a lot of thought. Some scientific experiments.
Yeah,
Zach, the mathematician.
He did his math, and it's like, okay, he did this, he said this, that's 10 points off. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Yeah.
He gets it.
87%.
So he But this wizard interfering with everything fucks everything up for Vegeta, so he decides he's going to give in to the wizard's mind control, right? Just for the sake of being able to fight Goku. So he does, and then the wizard taps in all the bad, and so Vegeta gives into the bad just enough to where the wizard can push more bad. So Vegeta kills a bunch of people in a massive explosion that wrecks like an eighth of the arena. And just to show that he wasn't playing around, he did it again, narrowly missing his own family and Goku's family, which infuriates Goku. And Goku transforms to Super Saiyan and says, all right, motherfucker, you want to play? Fuck around and find out. So Vegeta said, all right, I'm going to fuck around and find out. So Goku says, transport us somewhere else. And then the Supreme Kai jumps in and says, no, Goku, which is like the god of their universe. Like, he's the ultimate authority on like life and death. And he steps between Goku and Vegeta. And the only time in the entire series where like Goku like isn't the righteous hero, he puts his hand up and is about to assault the Supreme Kai. To the point the Supreme Kai's like, oh shit, I don't want no smoke.
It's like he means it.
Yeah, so he backs down, and Goku and Vegeta are transported somewhere else for them to settle their feud. And the Kai says something like, the universe is more important than this meaningless scuffle between you two. And Vegeta loses it. He's meaningless. My pain, Vegeta took everything personally, as an 8 should, right? Meaningless. My pride is not meaningless. And Goku, or Kakarot as he calls him, has trampled that pride over and over and over again. And I'm not going to take it anymore.
Was he said the Saiyan never loses his pride?
Yeah. So Babidi tries
he goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah, so Babidi tries to convince Vegeta to kill the Supreme Kai, and Vegeta says, no, I got no quarrel with the Supreme Kai. My issue is Goku. So fuck you, you're not controlling my mind. I used you to get to where I'm at. Now you gotta think, Babidi's magic's pretty strong. I mean, Deborah, who's literally advertised as Lucifer, the king of hell, is under Babidi's magic spell.
Now, for one thing, Babidi's the only character that can actually move his fingers, too.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, we were talking earlier. The animators didn't want to bother to animate fingers, so everybody always says their fists clenched, right?
Yeah, it's hard to draw fingers.
Babidi is so powerful that he's able to actually move his fingers.
The only fingers you see move in the whole episode.
I didn't notice
true.
that. That's not what I picked up. I should, as a cartoonist, I feel ashamed that I didn't see that.
It's not the only episode.
You also notice that whenever not whenever, but like half the time when people are talking, it just shows their back, or it shows the other character, so they don't have to animate the mouth.
Well, that's because it goes through multiple different versions. So, like, there's my gosh, what is wrong with you? But there's like the English dub, English sub, the Japanese OG. Then there was like a weird like abridged version that came out for a while, where they kind of broke it down and it's like doing it fast, where they cut out random things. Yeah, Kai. Yeah. So they shorten the episodes, or like combine 2 episodes together by like shortening those like gaps that you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, in the original I commented on that. There's like they don't have a problem with just like sitting with emotions and tension for long periods of time. It's like I feel like it took an entire episode for the characters to say things that in other cartoons would probably be said in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's like build up, show his face like pulsating. What is it? Well, do you know like why does anime do that? Like, what's up with the pulsating face? We're like,
well, I don't really know the origins of that. I don't know if like it came from the influence of Osamu Tezuka or where that came from. I just know that seems to be the stereotype in manga to show bulging veins when a character gets upset. It must be cultural or something.
I get. I mean, obviously, no one's face can actually do that, so it's like an exaggeration. But like, it's interesting that a lot of anime does that.
No, but I have a great idea.
Yeah, what's your idea?
Hey, YouTubers, here's a homework assignment for you.
Yeah.
In the comments below, please tell us why they do that.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a nerd out there somewhere that knows the answer to that. These three do not.
Yeah. I'm a nerd. I'm a hell of a nerd. But I don't know the answer to that question.
He's a nerd that wants to fight the other nerds.
Nerdita.
Nerdita.
So, what did you think of the episode? I guess you were just talking about that, weren't you?
Yeah.
I wanted to know, though.
Yeah, it's your first ever episode of Dragon Ball Z.
That's right. Yeah. Like, even though we talked about the series, I had not watched any the first time that we talked.
Yep. And Dragon Ball GT Episode 1 does not count.
Well, my first exposure to Dragon Ball at all was the movie that you and I went to see
good.
and reviewed
Because it would be
back in the
really
fall.
sad if GT was your first introduction.
No, yeah, I've not seen any GT. But yeah, this was my first.
You saw the first episode.
I did?
And you were complaining about
Wait.
how boring it was, and then who is Master Roshi?
Wait.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, okay, so maybe
he blocked it from his memory, ladies and
was that
gentlemen.
bad.
It was that bad.
Dragon Ball GT has a rough start. It gets there.
I honestly don't remember that. That's funny. But anyway, so this is my first episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I will say between the two that we watched, I liked episode 86 better than this first one. But I think part of that's because, like, you know, I'm kind of jumping in at episode 229, so I'm not privy to any of the, like, other than what you guys have shared with me, the build up between the characters, the subtext that's going on. So for me, it wasn't as interesting because it's just a lot of silence and them staring at one another and like Vegeta going, you know, and so that wasn't as interesting. But there's more dialogue and more cutscenes and stuff, more flashbacks in the other episode. So I found that one more interesting, just purely from like just examining it as an episode in its own right. But I imagine if I had watched 228 episodes prior to 229, it would have had a lot more weight.
Yeah. I think episode 86, you see both episodes are Vegeta at his most vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Makes
in
sense.
in the whole series, in my opinion. You know, maybe you could say the episode where he blows himself up. He's pretty vulnerable then, but like you don't really see all of Vegeta when he blows himself up. You get
You only see pieces of him.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, so like,
A piece of him over there, a piece of him over here.
so like, I flash forward. So Vegeta and Goku fight. Vegeta cheap shots Goku, and then he goes to try to fight Majin Buu by himself. He can't beat him because Majin Buu regenerates. So he decides to try to blow.
So Majin Buu is the Wolverine of Dragon Ball.
Well, if Wolverine was a piece of bubblegum.
This is true words.
So he decides to try to blow himself up in a massive like radius in order to try to like kill every cell. But it didn't work ultimately. But there's a really interesting monologue Vegeta has where he talks about how he can't believe he was searching for his identity, and he even took a son and an Earth woman as a wife, and like, you know, and all these things were like things that ultimately humbled him, but he doesn't speak of it in a sense of humbling. He speaks of it in a sense of almost thankfulness. And he needed to see if it was real, and that's why he decided to fight Goku and sacrifice all his people. He knew he could bring them back with Dragon Balls. So he kills those people, and he goes bad for a second because he knows it can all be fixed. It sucks. It'd be traumatic for those people who just died. But like he's like, it can be fixed. I need this right now. I need to make sure that I'm not that bad guy. And so he delivers the ultimate sacrifice and blows himself up to kill Majin Buu. And there's really interesting dialogue, and you know, and he very touching moment with him and his son. But the reason why that episode is my favorite is because knowing everything led to him, it's such a shock with Vegeta and Goku. I mean, I feel like the show is watched through Gohan's eyes. I feel like if any member of the Z team or Z squad or whatever you call it was the eyes that the audience is watching through is Gohan's, because he's in every story, you know, and he's in every fight. He's either a spectator or a combatant.
Yeah, and in this one, now you mentioned that, like, for most of it, he's like what's going on? You know, he had that look on his face of like, he's like, Dad, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, so he was like shocked, I guess, from both sides. Mm-hmm. You know. So, yeah.
Speaking of which, your first introduction to Dragon Ball was the theatrical movie Superheroes. How do you feel going back in time and seeing Gohan as a kid? Was that jarring?
Oh, like the one we watched, 86. He didn't feature very prominently in that episode, so I didn't get a big taste of him necessarily. But seeing him, I guess, as a teenager, more or less, in 229, like, he's definitely he's younger self. Like,
in 229.
Yeah, like 17, 18. It didn't seem... I didn't seem jarring, like, but again, like, that's probably... Part of that's probably because he didn't feature as prominently in the other one we watched when he was, like, what, 6 or 7 or so.
7, between 6 and 8.
Yeah. Other than just, like, facial reactions, like, I mean, he was in it a lot, but, like, he didn't say much. He was just kind of reacting to the dialogue and the fights with Frieza and which maybe that's a good transition to the other episode, because we don't want to spend our entire podcast talking about just the one. So episode 86, the End of Vegeta. So if you guys can share what's meaningful about that episode.
I actually have a question for you, Will.
I have a question for you.
Well, let me cast mine first. I've talked about
Okay.
So, like, the End of Vegeta is one of my favorite episodes. The monologue he delivers is great, but is it on your top 10?
I'm not really sure. I mean, for me, Dragon Ball Z, the most memorable story arcs are the Saiyan and Frieza saga, and the Android saga. I think for me, the Android saga is my favorite somehow. But yeah, I mean, Vegeta continually being shocked by Goku surpassing him and just showing him up. That's pretty big stuff. It's pretty important to the series.
Yeah. But, like, that episode where Vegeta details to Goku what happened to the Saiyan race and what made Vegeta a bad guy.
Oh, yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah. So you'd
the
put
big
it, like,
reveal.
You'd put it in your top 10 or...
Yeah, I would. The big reveal that Frieza destroyed the planet.
So that was the first time in the series that anyone knew about that.
No, we had known because...
It's the first time Goku...
Frieza had mentioned it earlier.
Well, Frieza had mentioned it, but I think the Ginyu Force had mentioned it early on, but we didn't see a flashback.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then you see Goku's dad getting killed as well.
Yeah, they did a TV... So as when we were kids, it was like... They started the Saiyan saga, they went through the End of Frieza saga, and then they started over, and then did it again all the way through the End of Majin Buu saga, which is the end of DBC. So we saw all the way to the end where the Namekians get wished back and go back to their planet, and it's like, and everybody lived happily ever after. Until. And then it started over. So we got to see it twice, like, before we saw the progression.
Syndication or... like legit, like the storyline repeated.
Completely.
So it was new episodes, but it was repeating the cycle.
No, it was the same episode.
Okay, so so it was syndication. So it went into syndication before they started making new episodes later.
Sorry, I never heard that word before.
Syndication means like after something's already aired, live the first time, then it continues to play on TV stations or whatever, like back in the day. So it would go into syndication, like.
All I know is every day at 5 p.m. it played.
Yeah.
And it played through to the end of the Namekian saga right there when Frieza dies. And then it started all the way back over with Raditz and then played through all the way then to Majin Buu. So we didn't see Vegeta go Super Saiyan until we were so invested as kids. So
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
We didn't think anybody could go Super Saiyan. So when Trunks shows up, it's like, there's another fucking Super Saiyan. What the fuck?
I remember that.
So like, it was a complete... I mean, the way they did it was, very well done.
And then Broly.
Yeah, they came out with the Broly movie right after that happened.
What? That's not canon anymore, or maybe it never was, but still, it was shocking. Yeah. There's another Super Saiyan.
Yeah. So the going back to episode 86. So there was but the second time they ran through the series, they stopped right before that, and they released something called the TV special.
Right. Are you talking about Bardock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second time they played it through, we understood what's going on, who this guy is. Because the first time they played it through, it's like, oh, this guy looks like Goku's getting killed by a big bomb. We don't really know what it is. But the second time they played it through, we saw the TV special. There was like 3 episodes or whatever of Bardock and his life and Goku and how he got to Earth as a child. So it was so much more meaningful because we know how the story ends, but now they're adding more details. So as a kid, you're like, oh, you get to peek behind the curtain, and there is actually a wizard there. It's not just some dude in a jumpsuit.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like, to put in a Star Wars reference here, when they did the Rogue One movie, you got so much backstory to just that one little line that like many lives were lost getting these plans.
Yes, exactly.
And it's like they make a whole movie out of that.
Yes.
Basically.
So like you saw when we watched episode 86, you saw Bardock and you saw what happened. But that's all we saw. It doesn't mention his name. It doesn't mention anything about him.
Yeah.
So like when you watch through the second time, you're so emotionally invested in all these characters. Like Krillin's voice changes, you realize that. Like a bunch of things. His voice actor changed.
Oh, I was gonna say he grew a little older. Went through his version of puberty.
It's not quite as nasally as he progressed, but like,
I think does he say anything in that episode? I remember him going like,
yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
A lot of facial expressions. Yeah. But
Krillin's got some interesting shoes. Anyway. So
Piccolo does talk a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks a little bit, but not much.
I'd like to argue that Piccolo's had a little bit of character development.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
but they didn't explain it very much.
I don't know if you consider this canon or not, but the movie you and I watched, Piccolo featured it actually quite significantly in that movie.
You mean Gohan's dad?
Gohan's dad. Well, you put it that way.
No, he's actually very prominent. Might be fair to say he's the main character of that movie, like Piccolo. Definitely on the good side, like. But that's like jumping forward 20 years.
Yeah. So when they came out with Dragon Ball Super, I didn't know how to get to it because I wasn't savvy enough to understand all the back channels of watching stuff online for free, like Kiss Anime. But now, like, so I would just watch the reviews of people telling what was happening in Dragon Ball Super. And there's this YouTuber, I can't remember his name, this was 2017, 2018, something like that, who was telling the story of Dragon Ball Super, and Piccolo was Gohan's daddy. That's how he called it. So Gohan and his daddy, they fought these other dudes, and Gohan's daddy was doing this, and Gohan's daddy was doing that. It was just like, it's so funny, like, because,
Is he kind of like does he raise Gohan almost more than Goku does, or is more involved in his life?
Yes.
So he's the father figure, but not necessarily the biological.
I mean, so like, let's just go through Gohan's life. All right. Gohan has his dad for the first 5 years. Then his dad dies. For a year, is in heaven, right? During that year, Gohan trains with Piccolo, right? So from 5 to 6 years old, he's Piccolo's bitch, right? And Piccolo beats the shit out of him until Gohan emerges a warrior, right? Then Goku shows up for 20 minutes and thrashes Vegeta, then gets thrashed back by Vegeta, and Goku goes to the hospital. And then Gohan and Krillin go to Namek with Bulma, a 6-year-old, and Goku's best friend is probably like 23 at the time, maybe 25. They go to Namek, and Goku's in the hospital. Then while Gohan's on Namek, he gets his shit beat out and gets his neck broke by Raccoon, which is, in my opinion, still the most brutal scene in Dragon Ball Z history. And then Goku shows up just in time to wreck the Ginyu Force, and then switch bodies with Captain Ginyu, get his body wrecked by Vegeta, then switches back, get his regular body back, then goes in the healing tank. Gohan's now got nobody but Piccolo. So he wishes Piccolo back to life. then wishes Piccolo to come to Namek, and now it's Gohan and Piccolo and Krillin and Vegeta versus Frieza. So they fight for a while, like 20 episodes, which is probably like 5 minutes in real life. And, as Frieza's killing Vegeta, Goku shows up again. Goku fights Frieza, right? Then in the middle of the fight, the Namekian Dragon Balls, they wish everybody but Goku and Frieza back to Earth. So Gohan's there with Piccolo. Goku, after fighting Frieza, beats him and then travels the universe learning new fighting techniques for an entire 3 years or something like that. I can't remember. During that time, the only person who Gohan has is Piccolo, right? So, then when Goku finally shows back up,
So Piccolo is Gohan's Alfred, almost.
yes. So
With the exception of the Waynes are not dead.
yeah. So
Although Goku's sort of dead and then comes back.
Except
and then sort
Alfred.
of dead and then comes
well,
back.
the story's not done. Gohan's only like 12 years old at this point, and then he spends a year or two training with Goku for the androids and Piccolo, his daddy and his other daddy. And then the androids
daddy?
come. Then Goku gets his heart disease and is locked up for a while Gohan and Piccolo go off to save the day, right? Then he spends a year in the hyperbolic time chamber with Goku. Then Goku dies. And for 8 years, all he has is Piccolo.
Don't forget, somewhere at that point, he somehow got Chi-Chi pregnant again, and this is a child that's never even met Goku.
Yeah. I don't know how Goten doesn't have daddy issues. I mean, we should break down the psychology.
See, Gohan had 2 daddies. Goten didn't have a single daddy.
No daddy for you.
I thought Goku was a terrible husband. I didn't. Now, when you put it this way, he's a terrible dad too. He's the ultimate absentee poster dad.
Yeah, then you go into Super, and the only time Goku shows any interest in Gohan is when he shows up and whoop his ass and say, "I need you to train for this tournament."
Well, in fairness to Goku, for quite a bit of that time, he was dead. So it's hard to be a dad and a husband.
Well, they tried to wish him back, and
Weird
Goku.
dad.
So that's the crazy thing is they use the Namekian Dragon Balls to wish him to Earth, and he's like, "Nah, I don't want to come back yet. I'm gonna travel and train."
How do you say no to the dragon though?
Then he did it again later. So like after he dies to Cell, they try to wish him back, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay in the afterlife and train."
That sounds like some unrighteous shit to me. Like,
Yeah, but like,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's not. He had some other unrighteousness before. Was this prior to episode 229?
Yes, prior.
Okay, so then he hasn't been squeaky clean.
Well, like the funniest thing, the most debatable thing in the Dragon Ball community is they have these little sensu beans where if you eat them, they restore your vitality, your strength, and your health. Right?
Oh, yeah, like a video game. Like
Yeah.
eat the bean.
Yeah.
I have 4 hearts.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
whatever. Yeah.
So
4 hearts restored.
So in the Cell games, Goku fights Cell first, right? Beats him up a little bit. Goku gets beat up a little bit. At the end of it, Goku's like, "Cool, I'm not the one to beat you, Cell, but I know who will. It's my son Gohan. Here, Cell, have a sensu bean to heal up, because Gohan's gonna whoop your ass." So he throws Cell a sensu bean, and Cell's like, "Sure, you can restore me to full strength, and I'll kick your son's ass with that strength. Cool." And he does. He beats the shit out of him. It's crazy. I mean, it's almost child abuse. And Goku doesn't take a sensu bean, so he's just sitting there like... Yeah, he reminds me... So at my bachelor party, it reminds me of Richard sitting at that... we went to this place with a beer garden. First time we'd ever been to a beer garden. And it's where you take you get a sort of a debit card, but it's not really.
Oh, you're talking about the one with the beer wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go and you just scan your card, and you can just pour your own beer.
Mm-hmm. You pay per ounce, basically.
I've never seen a more happy Richard in my life.
How does this relate to Goku giving the enemy a sensu bean?
Because that's the way Goku's face looked when he's watching his son get his ass kicked. He's just so proud. And Richard, at my bachelor party, he's just like...
Oh yeah, my eyes did light up. I was like, a beer wall?
Yeah. So like Richard tried every single one of the beers all the way down.
No, I didn't.
Joke's on Goku. Gohan just doesn't have the warrior spirit that he does.
Yeah. Exactly. And Cell beats the shit out of him until Gohan finally transforms. But
and by the way, there is a place in Winston-Salem that has a beer wall.
Yeah.
It has 2 beer walls.
Roar.
Roar.
I think we're going to go there Saturday night
Nice.
for my birthday.
Yeah, first story has a beer wall, and the second story also has a beer wall.
Yeah. Hopefully it's fun. I haven't been there yet. It seems very, from what I've understood, it seems very commercialized.
That's fair. That's fair. But, it's got like I have not played the games up on the second floor yet. I just go there to hang out with a group that I meet with. So I've not yet played, like, they have like miniature bowling. They have a simulator. They can do like, I don't know, dozens of different games, like golf being one, but there's a bunch of other things that it can do. So they have a virtual reality like simulator and stuff like. So I haven't tried any of those yet. So, but,
is it loud?
No, it's not that. At least, although I normally go on a Wednesday night, so it's hard to say.
That's the thing I don't like about a lot of, in Winston-Salem bar owners, if you're fucking listening, I love your atmosphere, I love your vibe, until you bring in these loud-ass fucking metal bands that just scream at the top of their fucking lungs at 11 p.m. when I'm trying to have date nights with my wife. I mean, I'm telling you, if there's any bar out there that has comfortable seating and decent ambiance and really good drinks that doesn't scream at the top of your fucking lungs over your speakers, we'd love to visit you.
So you're just trying to get some food, and some guy comes up and is like, "Go!"
Yeah, it goes full Dragon Ball Z in my ear. Bringing us back.
Yeah, this episode's going to be explicit.
Yes.
We have some that are legitimately clean, and this one's not.
Are you going to share this with your pastor?
Jason can listen to it if he wants to.
Oh, you go to North Point. That's awesome. Jason lives right around the corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's not far from here.
Me and him get breakfast occasionally.
Cool.
Tell him I said hi.
So tell him I apologize for all of this.
Sorry, Jason. We didn't mean to bring you into an explicit episode. We won't reveal your full name here.
Well, as long as we brought it up, Richard's worried about people not listening. I'm worried about people listening.
I'm like, we need more listeners. And Will's like, but only certain types. Don't want to make Will blush.
Yep. Captain America told me to watch my language now.
Language.
Is anyone going to address the fact they just said
America?
America?
So I've got a question for you, Zach.
All right.
Now, that shirt, by the way, Will. Sorry. Side note.
Thanks.
Yeah. I don't know if they can see it on the video or not, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Justice League shirt there. Yeah. Or at least part of the Justice League. Anyway, ask your question.
So I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Root beer or another cream soda?
No, I've had my limit and to be cut off. So I just wanted your thoughts on this. I have watched Dragon Ball GT. It's not just get this out of the way. Of course, it's not canon.
This is Dragon Ball Gran Turismo.
Sure, let's go with that.
What does the GT stand for? Just like curious.
Grand Tour.
Oh, okay.
Back when they
Close.
fought it.
Close to Gran Turismo, then. Yeah,
True.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Zach heard GT.
No, Zach's
left.
walking away, so
Zach's like, I'm not going to be here for this.
I'm not going to be here to answer this question. No, he's got to get some liquor before he answers this question. What is that?
You can ask.
Is that wine? Oh, it's wine. Never mind.
So, my question to you is, with all of this character evolution for Vegeta, how have you seen it? And if you haven't, I'll explain it just now. There is an episode of GT. How do you feel about this? I had some feelings about this. That in GT, they do have a flashback to that episode, Vegeta's Pride. And Vegeta pretty much explains that, and this happens after, this happens after the, I can't remember the character's name, but the arc where that...
Mind control, baby?
Yeah, the baby arc, the baby saga, which I have problems with that because it's like when he got possessed by...
Sorry, I just love that Dragon Ball has a baby saga. Sorry, side note. I keep distracting you. I'm making his preamble even longer.
Well, Vegeta has too much pride to be controlled by baby and taken over like that.
Damn, when babies come into your life, I tell you, they do control it.
Yeah. But then later, he has a character evolution, character growth episode, which is kind of...
It's a $50 bottle of wine. Is it?
which is contrary to what we've seen in Dragon Ball Z, where he pretty much admits that during the Majin Buu arc that he looked up at Goku after Goku beat him that last time after he exploded and he had the halo. He says supposedly in GT that in that moment he looked up to Goku and said, "He is the king. He's the champion." And he basically lets go of his pride, and that's where we find that's who Vegeta is in GT. He doesn't have pride anymore, and I have issues with this. I have issues because that's not the Vegeta I know.
So you're going to be very disappointed when you finish Kakarot then. So who's your favorite character?
Kakarot.
And probably Goku.
Yeah. So at the end of Kakarot, they include that speech in
The GT speech?
in when Goku is finishing Buu when he's summoning up the energy from the spirit body.
So you played this game?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's very when I got COVID in 2020, I bought it and played it. It's a good game, whatever. But like, they try to make an RPG,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball game, which is kind of hard to do because it's still a very linear storyline. But side missions are okay. But the at the end of Kakarot, he delivers that speech, and I always thought of it as not him admitting defeat, but just the next evolution in his character arc. Because it seems when you get to Super, he's speaking the same way. He's saying, I'm not going to let Goku get stronger than me, but it's not a focus to the point that's driving him to the dark side.
True.
So, like, did you see you saw the new Broly movie, right?
No, I haven't seen the new one yet.
Okay. So it starts off with Vegeta and Goku training with Whis, and they take a pause and they take a pause and then Vegeta's like, "We gotta train harder, motherfucker, because you just let Frieza loose. Frieza's not stopping. Frieza's not a good guy." Goku's like, "Oh, it's fine. We've already beat him several times.
He's a bud. We have drinks on the weekends."
Yeah. And his family comes over every Thursday. We have life group together.
Old purple head.
Yeah, but now he's gold head.
No, he's gold head. Okay, sorry.
But like, I don't know how much trouble I'm getting for this, but in the manga, now he's blackhead.
He has a black head.
Manga. Yeah. So he turns Black Frieza in the end.
His head is a giant black head.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so no, he so the Frost Demon race, just like the Saiyans, transform.
Oh, okay.
So they
Is that what he is?
they
The
also-
Frost Demon?
yeah. So like,
Okay.
him and his dad are
They
Frost
also born
Demons.
with monkey tails.
No, they have their big tails. They have muscular tails.
They have the muscular tails. Yeah. Obviously he does when he's older.
Yeah.
However that works. No, I commented on, like, we saw the intro to episode 86. Like, Gohan had a monkey tail, and I was like, does that come from like the Japanese idea, like the Monkey King?
Yes.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, we
What
talked
did
about this
Zach
last
say?
episode.
Yeah.
Last time we talked.
You mentioned that. Yeah.
Actually, Will mentioned it.
You will mention it.
Yeah, I
mean,
had this whole
yeah.
thing I wanted to say, and it just was completely beside the point.
His mic was going in and out.
Yeah, I was going to give this whole history of the creation of Dragon Ball, and it was just like, Zach was like, "That's not why we're here."
So
We're to fight. No.
So in Dragon Ball GT, you have a Vegeta who's enslaved to the idea of whether or not he should have a mustache.
Yes,
So like the fact
or
that he
enslaved to his daughter's opinion, but
yes, and the fact that you have a Goku who's been wished to younger health and is now traveling the universe with Vegeta's son Trunks and Goku's granddaughter Pan.
I could have stomached that more if they had turned him back into an adult.
They do. No, they don't. I can't remember if they do or not. But
He grows into an adult after he ascends to godhood or whatever happens.
Super
at the
Saiyan
end.
4, which in my opinion is the best transformation. I think it's
That is
really
really cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Like,
true.
He gets like the red fur all over his skin, like the black hair goes all the way long, like Super Saiyan 3. Yeah, then the eyes have the red in them. Yeah, anyway. But I think he gets that like death, murderous tone to his voice. It gets real deep. And everything he says, like breathing threats. It's like, this is good. It's not like that Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue bullshit that they're all happy all the time.
Just goes, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, he sounds like Johnny Cash singing "The Man Comes Around." You know, so
A ring of fire.
no, that's about love.
No.
Talking about the man comes around. There's a man going round taking names. Yeah,
Okay. I'll have to go listen to that after this episode.
Johnny Cash is the best. One day we should do a history on Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I did not know you were into Johnny Cash.
Yeah, it's my dude. When we finish, I'll show you the poster in my garage. If we have a son, his middle name is gonna be Cash. No, after Johnny Cash. Yeah.
Hey,
Cool.
now the reason why we do these things, I get to learn new things about my friends.
Yeah.
And so does the internet.
Yeah, exactly. You guys get to learn it with me. So Zac Williams loves Johnny Cash.
I do. Huge
Nice.
fan. The first Eminem was probably the first musician I ever like decided to study and understand like why he did what he did and why his lyrics meant what they meant, and then Johnny Cash. So,
Nice. Okay. I knew you liked country music in general, but Cash. Cool.
old 70s
Johnny
outlaw
Cash.
country music, which Johnny
Yeah.
Cash introduced me to. The Willie
Okay.
Nelsons, the Waylon Jennings,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even older like the Patsy Clines, like, yeah, good stuff. Anyway, moving on. My sister-in-law also loves 70s outlaw country music.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she'll never listen to this episode, but you know, Katie, if you do, I got you, fam.
I walk the line.
So, yeah, so like the Vegeta in GT is very different. At that point, he sees himself as a protector to his family. He doesn't see himself as trying to keep up with Goku. That's why he doesn't mind when Bulma uses, you know, you see like at the end of the series where Bulma uses technology to transform to Super Saiyan 4.
Right.
Then he tells Goku, if we attack now, we're both going to die when they fight evil Shenron. So he says, we need to fuse so we have a chance to beat him. So Vegeta's like, it's not that he's lost his pride, it's that he's evolved. He's a grandpa now. He's like, I'm the patriarch. It's not about me anymore, you know, which is, I think, the evolution of all men eventually, right? I mean, unless you're still like 17 years old, you know, living in a 28-year-old body, looking at porn and, you know, doing all that you do, refusing to get married and being a loser.
And, you know, walking 1 mile and...
If you're not bettering yourself, you're a loser. But Vegeta had bettered himself. He'd reached a place where he could hang his hat on his life and say, I'm proud of what I've done. I thought it was a fitting conclusion. I did not like the mustache episode.
No.
He's like, I'm going to be like Mr. Satan and grow a mustache.
Gosh.
Sorry, we
Mr.
just
Satan.
watched. We just watched an episode
Yeah.
with Mr. Satan in it. So
Yeah.
actually, he's pretty prominent in episode 229.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in GT, he's bald.
In fairness, though, it's not just a mustache. So it's like I don't even know what you call that. It's like the handlebar wraps
Fu
down
Manchu?
and like, is it a Fu Manchu?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Look it up. I can't remember.
Fu Man handlebar too.
Mr. Satan, who's not intimidating at all, except for his pecs. He does have intimidating pecs.
Well, I mean, he is, apart from the Z fighters, he is the strongest human on Earth.
Okay, so he is actually powerful, at least.
I mean, he whooped our
Earth,
ass.
as Earth goes.
If Mr. Satan walked in here, he'd beat the shit out of the three of us. I'll tell you that. But, you know,
But like,
He's
Saiyans,
not a superhero.
You can't do anything against the Saiyan.
do what?
Well, the Z Fighters are basically
He'd be like
martial
he'd
artist
be the-
superheroes.
Yeah.
Mr. Satan isn't a superhero. He's just... If it wasn't for Yamcha and Krillin, he'd be the strongest human.
Is he like Bruce Lee?
Or Tien, you know what I mean.
Or Bruce Lee wants to be a superhero. You know, he wanted to be one. And he like would fight
I would say he's
people.
more. I mean, let's see. I guess Bruce Lee,
a
but
little
like,
more arrogant than Bruce Lee, maybe.
Oh yeah. Though Bruce, you know,
Bruce Lee was pretty arrogant, but
Yeah,
but
I agree.
from what I've heard,
There's a lot of like Bruce Lee worship out there, which he was a great guy. Don't get me wrong, but he was pretty arrogant. You know, you get in front of these crowds and be like, I can beat anybody with my Wing Chun style, modified Wing Chun. Be like water, and I'm gonna drown myself by not drinking enough water with salt in it.
and then Harrison Ford or Indiana Jones just pulls out a gun and shoots. Sorry, Indiana Jones reference. Which there's another one coming out apparently. Don't know if Harrison Ford's going to be in it, but yeah.
It won't be Shia LaBeouf.
Nope. No, probably not.
He's been disgraced by Hollywood.
Has he?
Don't touch a woman unless you're a director.
I wondered what happened to him. He disappeared.
He got accused of like hitting a girl or something. He's married now. Apparently, he's like living a healthy life. And just
So hitting a girl. I thought you meant hitting on a girl.
no, he hit her.
Hit a girl. Okay.
I don't know too much about it. He was accused. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm talking out of turn here. Excuse me. Don't comment on me.
Yeah, and then I have not heard anything about that, so I can't comment to the validity of internet rumors.
Back to Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
It's a safe area.
I'll conclude my
I was
thoughts.
gonna say, we should probably wrap up here soon. It's getting late. I was gonna ask before, like maybe after you conclude your thoughts, you can share. But Zach, would you say, and Will, you can comment as well. Would you say that Vegeta is your favorite character?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Will?
He's my second favorite character. It's hard to imagine Dragon Ball without Vegeta, the original Dragon Ball. He really does make it.
He wasn't in the original Dragon Ball.
No, I mean, he makes Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't in the original Dragon Ball. It's hard to see this series without Vegeta.
I wanna pause. Actually, I want to take it back. My favorite character actually is Piccolo.
Okay.
So and
Piccolo is pretty cool. And the little bit I've seen of him,
Yeah.
I liked him.
so he was another bad guy who like I had to become good, and it was one of those situations very similar to Vegeta's where the situation was like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, so he kind of started hanging out with the good guys and they rubbed off on him. But Piccolo was gruff and never lost that hard life. But he didn't punish himself in isolation. He chose to enjoy isolation. He came to respect himself. I don't know. I would say halfway through the Android saga, you see a Piccolo who understands his own self-worth. And that is something that I appreciate. Then he's able to be there for Gohan, to never once hold the fact that he was there for Gohan over Goku, his former rival's shoulder. He never once held it up and said, I'm better than anyone. He just was humbly doing what he could. And in GT, one of the most touching times for me is when now again, I don't know how you feel about GT. I liked it. It was, anytime they continue these characters, I'm going to divulge myself into it.
I liked it after we got back to Earth.
Yeah. The dancing Ginyu Force was weird, but
it's better than the catfish,
Yeah.
the monster.
But Piccolo,
Starting to sound like 60s Star Trek.
I can't exactly remember what happened, but Earth is being destroyed, so Goku is taking everyone off, as many as he can, to a spaceship to get them off Earth with instant transmission. And then he finally gets to Piccolo, and Piccolo's the last one. And, and Goku brings Gohan with him and says, and Piccolo and Gohan say goodbye. And Piccolo's like, I'm not leaving Earth. Kami was its guardian first, and Kami's a part of me, and I feel responsible. And it's, again, a man who understands his value, his identity, his self-worth, and he's saying, I understand why everyone's leaving, and I respect that, and I'm cool with it, and I think you should. But here I am, I just want to go down with the ship, Captain of the Titanic style, put me down, lay me on a bed of roses kind of thing, He, there's a lot to respect there, and the moments he's had with Gohan, and the moments he's had with various characters throughout the show, even even Vegeta, when they've come to respect each other. But Vegeta, again, it's easier to like Vegeta because he's stronger than Piccolo, so he's more valuable in a fight, which is why we're watching the show, because they fucking fight. But Piccolo is just the silent guardian type who's keeps the team together when a big fight breaks out. I think about the movie BoJack Unbound, you know, and Vegeta's not there yet, and Trunks is kind of like having his own little identity crisis, and this team shows up. Piccolo's the one that kind of points everybody in the right direction, you know, and holds everybody together when they're struggling. You know, it's a good like fatherly figure, not just for Gohan, but for everyone. And like I feel like that is what, personally, as a kid growing up, I didn't have a Piccolo, you know, with what happened with my dad, and then like, you know, I was hoping, and you know, the Lord's given me several different Piccolos in my life since then, but that's why I respect that character so much, you know, and like, yeah, so anyway, Piccolo is probably my favorite character. Second, or if second, it would be to Vegeta. Then probably Krillin. Yeah.
How about you, Will? What would your top 3 be?
Well, I definitely like Goku. When I was a kid in the 90s, I really liked Piccolo and Krillin. But yeah, Vegeta, I really like Vegeta too. I mean, it's all the same as his. These characters, I imagine that a lot of people feel the same way about these 4 characters, really.
Makes sense. I mean, and obviously they're also kind of the main featured characters too, right? They're the protagonists, more or less, of the series.
I do got a
is that
question.
fair to say?
Who's your favorite female character?
Well, it's not Chi-Chi. It's not Videl. Honestly, I have 2 favorite female characters, and that's Bulma and Android 18. But the top would be Bulma. I mean, she is the main female character, to be honest. Android 18 is just attractive.
Oh my gosh. That'd be an interesting conversation for the topic, is like, how are grown men attracted to cartoon characters? Yeah, I find that very fascinating, and like
It's probably
I would
because
like to
grown
have
men are drawing them and trying to make them as sensuous as possible.
My favorite female character is Chi-Chi. I love Chi-Chi. I just love strong, independent women. I mean, babe, I hope you can hear me up here. I just love
That's why he married one.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, dang it, I was going to say something.
My wife still calls my job my hobby.
Well, welcome to career hobbies, hobby careers.
Chi-Chi is definitely my favorite female character. She's strong, she's independent. She complains, but she picks up her shit and moves on with a power that she didn't have before. You know, I mean, look, she turned Gohan into an amazing man by herself, basically, her and Piccolo. And then again, you mentioned Goten.
Yeah.
You know, in Dragon Ball GT, Goten's kind of a lazy slump, like, teenager. But, like, he's still there. He's still involved. You know, he's not off, like, you know, I mean, he can literally go take whatever he wants. And there's, like, 7 people on the planet that could stop him, you know. And he doesn't. So, like, they're saying something for that, you know. So, Chi-Chi did the best she could with what she had, and I love Chi-Chi. And maybe it's because of, like...
That's not a cartoon character.
All right, so we're
I liked her too.
picking back up with a second recording to finish up here.
So, non-Dragon Ball Z related. Fictional character. Female. Who was your childhood crush?
Oh, mine? Let me think. Oh, yeah. Catwoman from Batman the Animated Series.
Really?
She was hot. Yeah.
I'm having a hard time.
April from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would probably be second.
That's true.
Yeah. As a kid. Like, if we're saying, like, 12 and under, then, yeah, definitely those 2 characters. Yeah. But, yeah, Catwoman was tops. Because, yeah, in my opinion, she's still the best Catwoman.
All right. It's 12 and under? All right.
When
ready?
I was, like, that age range. Yeah.
The Pink Power Ranger. I don't remember her name. She was the bee's knees. No. But, like, I didn't tell my friends this. But...
Didn't tell your friends you were watching Power Rangers either, did you?
No. I watched a little. But the yellow Power Ranger had more sway over my boyhood into manhood Journey.
Okay. I didn't watch Power Rangers much, so I don't know how to comment. Did you, Will?
I watched Power Rangers.
Did you?
Yeah.
I remember
Well, that's
seeing
the Asian one.
the Asian one.
Trina or Trini. Can't remember what it was. Man, I was like 8 years old.
Now
Like,
live action. If we're gonna ask live action, which is
it was a fictional character.
so okay, that's true. I really liked. Okay, so I watched a lot of PBS as a kid. Did you guys ever watch Wishbone?
Yes.
Do you know the blonde girl Sam?
Yes.
She is hot. She's still hot, honestly.
I never noticed.
Oh yeah, and she was about the same age as me too, like the actress was. So it was like, yep, yeah. So live action. I think it was like, yeah. So I was watch. My sisters would watch all the time, but I would watch it too. And yeah, like the main characters were the same age I was at the time, like the actual actors and the characters. So I always liked her. Yeah.
I guess it was hard for me because I remember first, I feel like I was supposed to be attracted to the Pink Ranger, but the yellow one just was there. It was it. And then the next one I remember, it's hard, man. It's hard. I guess like animated character, probably Riku from Final Fantasy X. But even then, I was very short-lived.
Oh yeah. Now, not in terms of like attraction necessarily, but more of like just a cool female character, Gadget from Rescue Rangers. I don't know if you guys ever watched.
Good.
Okay, that's probably a little before your time, but like.
Oh, the first thing that popped in my head was Inspector Gadget. And I was so confused.
Gadget? Might be Gidget. Gidget? Probably getting it wrong. Anyway, the female character from.
I like Gadget
she's just a cool character. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I can still let the theme song play in my head.
I remember Yellow Ranger, what she looks like now. And that's the only one that I can picture in my head until Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Party of 5 day or post?
I don't remember the movie, but there's a movie, the title, but there's a movie where her and her mom manipulate dudes, and the mom getting married, and then she plays like sexy secretary, and then like the mom catches them cheating, and then mom breaks up and takes half his fortune. Some kind of like.
I still know what you did last summer. No.
It's some kind of like a con police detective type movie. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, I think I might know.
But
I'm getting vague recollections of a trailer at some point. That like I don't think I ever saw the film, but I think I might know what you're talking about.
I had no idea, and if I watched it, I'd probably be like, ugh. But for some reason, as a kid, like Jennifer Love Hewitt,
She's pretty.
you know, I don't know why. I mean, I look at pictures of her now, and I'm like, I don't understand, but maybe that was just, my first love.
My first love is still Velma Dinkley.
Why?
I don't know.
Velma. That was pretty
I
cool.
just like short, dark-haired girls with glasses.
Hey, you married one. So.
Yep. But then I liked Gadget from Rescue Rangers. I liked Tom Girls.
Yeah, she was a bit of a Tom girl, but she was brilliant as well, like an inventor, that kind of thing. So like she was very intelligent, and obviously she was a mouse, so it's not, you don't have necessarily the attractiveness scale necessarily with like.
Well, she has the plot. She's not just there as like eye candy.
Yeah, well, I mean, so were the other. Well, I mean, Teenage Mutant Turtles was kind of shallow all the way around, so it's hard to say. But April was also like, I mean, the way they drew her was a bit like, okay, eye candy-ish, but she was also a reporter and was there with them in the danger a lot of times, like right in the middle of it. So she wasn't like an inconsequential character. Same with obviously Catwoman. She was definitely, Batman's equal in a lot of ways.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
very intelligent.
I'll tell you what, that outfit she wore.
I remember.
Thought you were about to.
I didn't see. I did not.
Ow.
I did not see either film when they came out, but yeah, I remember. I mean, obviously it was advertised everywhere, and like Happy Meals and toys and commercials and everything. But I remember getting a book from the library about Batman Returns or something and just seeing the pictures in that. But I never actually saw the film as a kid. I think I had some of the toys, but never saw. My parents wouldn't have let me because I was like 8 or 9, and it's like PG-13, and yeah.
Old Tim Burton, man, he pushed the boundaries on that one.
Yeah, I watched it as an adult, mid-20s, and didn't like it that much, to be honest with you.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's not. Neither is the first Tim Burton movie, to be honest.
Yeah,
Now,
Tim
granted,
Burton climaxed his entire career with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands is bad. Although that was before Nightmare Before Christmas, so yeah, that might be a fair point, actually.
Though,
Nightmare Before Christmas was better.
But it came after.
Have you guys seen Wednesday on Netflix yet?
No, he's doing that, isn't he?
Yeah, he directed that.
Is
Very amazing series.
Cool. Okay.
Highly recommend Wednesday. It about towards the end it starts getting a little too commercialized, I guess. I don't know what other adjective used to describe it. Let's see. It becomes too predictable.
They start checking off all the Addams Family boxes towards the end.
The what? Oh, the Addams Family boxes. Oh, so
I'm asking if that's what you mean.
No, it just becomes predictable plot-wise. It's
okay.
It's a typical 13 Reasons Why, the typical teen drama. Like, oh, the guy I loved is actually the bad guy. When the beginning, Wednesday doesn't love. Why are we have this? You look pissed. I imagine that's what I felt when I watched it. Will, I gotta get you a drink in your hand eventually, man. A real drink, like this glass of wine.
Then you will be a real man, and you'll grow 5 more chest hairs.
I'll grow 5 more chest hairs. I didn't say for the video. Does that count?
For those of you not watching, Will is shirtless right now. Just kidding.
YouTube it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this will be coming out on YouTube next Tuesday. Well, not next Tuesday. The Tuesday after it releases, which will be the 24th.
You guys ever tried to rip a shirt off?
I have not.
It's not easy.
Imagine not. Imagine not.
You should try it. That would be a good promo for yeah, it'd be a good promo for the show. It's you guys should that should be the opening of the show. Is you guys trying to rip your shirt?
Yeah, and we got Superman underneath, but it's only a little bit of it's coming out. It's
yeah.
That might work actually. Well, Zach, thanks for having us over. Yeah. Thanks for joining us again.
Love you guys.
And likewise.
I love you too, Zach.
I love you, man. Men.
I said a lot, man.
Yeah.
Dudes do not hear that enough.
It's very
especially
true.
from other dudes.
It's very true.
Tell your brothers you love them.
Brothers
before hoes.
It's bros before hoes, not brothers before hoes.
It just doesn't rhyme, Richard.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, good friends.
Nerds out.
Nerd out. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of the Irreverent Nerds podcast. And a special thank you to my good friend Zac Williams at Zac Attack the Snack on IG. Check him out there. For coming on to talk once again about Dragon Ball Z. So, in the meantime, as you're waiting for our next episode to drop, if you'd like to drop us a line, you can go to our profile page, anchor.fm/irreverent nerd, and leave us a voice message. We will include it on next week's episode. So please do that. Right next to the message button, you will see a button that says support. So if you'd like to support us financially, you can do that for 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or $9.99 a month. We would be very grateful for any support you can give. That can help us to cover our marketing and equipment costs, guest procurement costs, things like that. So we'd be very grateful for that. We'd love to at least break even. That's as a hobby, we're just enjoying doing this together, but it does take a little bit of money to do it, so it would be nice to at least break even on that. So we'd be very grateful for your support if you're willing to extend that. You can also get in touch with us through social media. We are on Instagram at irreverent_nerds. We're on Facebook, simply The Irreverent Nerds. That's our fan page. And we are also on YouTube, which isn't technically social media, but it's adjacent. We are on there. Just look us up, The Irreverent Nerds. You'll find us. And every Tuesday, the plan for this year is to release a video version of the previous Wednesday's audio episode. So we're releasing audio only on Wednesday. Those are to all the podcasting platforms. But the following Tuesday, to YouTube only, we will be dropping a video version of that episode. And that'll be true whether we're recording in our own studio, whether we're recording via Zoom, or some other location to be determined. You'll find it there the following Tuesday. That's the plan. With rare exceptions, like if a guest doesn't give their permission for us to do that, then obviously we will honor that. But otherwise, you'll see that the following Tuesday. So, what's coming up next week? So, we are doing the movie of the month, and it is going to be an anime. And this is an interesting title, and obviously I understand this is translated, but it's called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Scarlet Bond. So, it's releasing in theaters this week. Coming up, I think it's just a 1 week run, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. Typically, anime films like this don't stay in theaters long, so if you're interested in going to see it and you don't want to be spoiled by our episode, we'll try to give you a spoiler free at the beginning, but then obviously we'll eventually get into spoiler territory. This is apparently based on a television show, which I have not seen yet, but plan to do some research on and might catch an episode or two if I'm able to find it on streaming service. But that's the film we'll be talking about next week, so keep an ear out for that. Thanks, nerds.